Welcome to It's a Whole Thing podcast, the happy place for hyperfixations. I am your host, Charlie Michelle, and every first and third Wednesday of the month, we'll bring you a new episode, a new guest, and a new thing. And today we have in the studio...
Hi, guys. My name is Ashley Brown, and I am the founder of Nerdventures, which is a pop culture travel company.
I am so excited. So that's your thing, is travel, nerd adventures, and like nerdy stuff. What does that mean to you? Can we get like a definition? Is it all stuff from like pop culture areas that you might enjoy, or is there like a broader definition?
Sure. So I break it down into any book, movie, TV show, and video game, honestly. I don't limit it
Yay!
to not
Oh,
just video games. And we can totally dive into that. But
ah,
basically connecting people with the places that either inspired or were used in filming for their favorite fandoms.
yeah, that's so cool. That is so cool. Have you yourself done many of these like travels? Where have you been that you were like, you know what, this is kind of like, I don't know, for me, of course, I'm gonna be like Lord of the Rings or whatever,
Yeah.
but like what have you done specifically for that nerdy aspect of it?
So I still have quite a few places I need to get to, but my most recent place has been on this current road trip that we're on, and it was to the ancient lore village in Tennessee. It's actually like in Knoxville, Tennessee. It is
Oh,
literally a Lord of the Rings themed hotel. It is
what?
so freaking cute. Like and it's new too. They built it in like 2021, and you
Mm,
show up and it's a hobbit village. It's so
that
cute.
in
In
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
So,
can you say the name of that one more time? Because
yeah,
I'm gonna be selfish and write it down.
it is the ancient lore village.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Sorry, I'm gonna probably be doing a lot of that. I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
telling
no
Ashley before
problem.
we started. I was like,
So it was
I'm gonna be really selfish.
no, absolutely do it. You have my email.
All
So
right.
that's
So
the most recent place, and it was
yes.
literally like walking into the Shire. Like it was just so picturesque, so well done. The amount of
Mm,
detail, like it was
mm,
stunning. So that has been the
yeah.
most recent place that I've been to. If you want to go to the theme park side of things, like I'm from Florida. So we have
Mm,
Universal Studios, so Harry Potter World. I've done all that.
hmm.
Still need to go to Epic Universe. That is very high on my list.
Yeah.
And then I have a whole list of places to get to. So I need to make it over to the United Kingdom because there's so much there. There's so much. Like
What
yes,
what's your
there's
dream? Like what's your dream place
dream.
in UK, if we're narrowing it to UK?
I can't wait to go to Scotland. I know I'm gonna love all of the UK.
Mm,
But I love castles. I love fairy tales. There's um so many things were filmed there. Like Outlander is kind of one of the biggest things that people are going on about,
yes.
but also just the
Yeah.
moodiness, and it just looks absolutely stunning. So like just put me up in a castle and leave me and I will be so happy.
Live that dream for a little while. Yeah, just be
Yep.
like, it's raining and moody and I'm in my,
Mhm.
I don't know, long dress. I need
Absolutely.
to. So what was like your moment where this kind of clicked
Mhm.
as far as, hey, this is an interest, but could also be like business idea?
Mhm. It was actually on a little solo retreat that I took about 2 years ago now, and it was just the very beginning of it, and I was at a point in my career where I've been doing the corporate thing, I've been to college, I've done all that, my background's in marketing,
Mm,
and it's fine, I was fine doing what I was doing, but I've never had that passion piece, and for me, not doing something that I was passionate about was just slowly eating away at me.
mm,
So I just kind of got to a point where I was just kinda burned out and trying to figure out what I wanted to do, so I was like, "I'm going off on an adventure, and I'm going alone. No one talked to me." My mom thought I was going to die because I drove 9 hours into, like, the far northern area of Alabama.
Sure.
I was like, "I've done way more dangerous things than this. I will be fine."
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and I got a really cute little cabin Airbnb and just hung out there, and at this time, my mom had also started her career as a travel agent, and I was
Mm,
watching her follow steps to do it, and I was like, "I could do that." I love travel. It's like the one thing I'm
yeah.
actually passionate about besides, like, nerd culture. And I was just kind of brainstorming that week on what can I do with this? Because yes, I love travel, but I do want to incorporate something I love. And then just, be on the internet, you see all the pop culture travel influencers going to these places, but
Yeah.
they are giving you the information, but they're not really doing the travel agent thing. So
Sure.
when I was leaving that trip, driving back, it's kind of when it hit me. And I was like, I'm going to combine these two. I don't know how, but I'm going to combine the two together. So that is the goal with Nerd Ventures is yes, there is the travel agent side of the business where people can come to me and it doesn't have to be pop culture. I can do all types of travel, but that's where the passion
Sure.
is.
Yeah.
And I can
Yeah.
curate their dream vacation, whether it's Harry Potter, Game of Thrones. If you want a Witcher inspired trip to Poland, I can do that. But I also want to be a resource for people to go to because not everyone knows that this stuff is there. They have an idea like,
Yeah.
yeah, it probably exists, but I want to be that resource for people. So that was the
That's
beginning of
amazing.
adventures.
Yeah, that is so cool. I love that you've kind of taken this broader passion for like travel and like niched, they always say like niche down, like
They
find your,
do, they do.
and like it's even here in the last 5 seconds, I had no idea about the little what did I write down? I wrote down I can't read my own handwriting.
Yeah.
Can I get the name of the
Ancient lore
the little
village.
Ancient Lore Village. I'm gonna cut that to make it seem like I knew what I was talking about.
Do
But yeah.
it.
Yeah, no, like even yeah, in the last 5 seconds that, I didn't know about that, and I've seen like some, because you get pushed your interests on TikTok
Mhm,
and whatever,
mhm,
so I see some of the places you can go, but I imagine that there are so many more that
mhm,
exist out there to discover. So having like a resource like you to go to is so
mhm,
beyond cool. Um so, what is nerdy travel? Why would someone want to do it other than the obvious, like, I want to go see, like, I think the most famous one I can think of is like the New Zealand where they shot The Hobbit,
yeah, the
The
Hobbiton
Hobbit, Lord of the Rings,
experience.
and all of that.
So it doesn't even have to be just film related. There's
Mm,
a whole anime side of things. So conventions, that's part of it. Going to Japan,
mm.
going to the Studio Ghibli theme park that is
Oh
there,
my God.
or even to, I believe this summer, the Pokemon Museum is in Chicago, and it's like a little museum of Pokemon fossils that you
Yeah,
can go and see on
that's
display.
so cute.
Isn't it cute? so,
Yeah. So,
so
how do
it
you keep
really
up?
could be any interest. And just when I travel, I'm always trying to find the really cool spots that are part of my interest. Like I was also
Yeah.
just in Greenville, South Carolina, and they have a bar that's slightly themed on Alice in Wonderland. And we went to that.
Too c
So it's just like finding little places to make your trip just like a little more magical, just a little more you. So even not fantasy,
Yeah.
but sci-fi, all of that.
That is so cool. How do you keep up with all of it? So, like, I guess, do you make a point of finding these little
Mhm.
places
Yes.
and
Mhm.
expanding, like, your knowledge of, like, every little, fandom that somebody could be a part of?
Yes, you should see my notes. I have notes on notes
Yeah.
by location, by fandom, and actually earlier today, I just saw that I was looking up the Wadi Rum Desert because that's
Mm,
where most of Star Wars has been filmed, but a bunch of other sci-fi movies as well. And there's like a luxury glamping experience there that's catered around Star Wars. So I literally saved that to my notes today so I can go back
that's
and
so cool. Yeah.
research it and be like, okay, is this like, are they going to have like a Jedi training for me if I go to this camp, or is it just to stay and get the vibe of it? So
Yeah,
whenever I see things, I'm saving them immediately, so that way I
I
have them.
love that.
So if someone is like, "Hey, I wanna do this thing," I can be like, "Alright, I got it."
Right. So someone can truly come to you and be like, "I really love insert fandom here," and
Mhm.
you can be like, "Let me cook. Let me
Absolutely.
get you everything
Yep.
I can." Oh my gosh. So if somebody were to be like myself who has never really done anything like this, but I am
Mhm.
you blew my mind when you reached out to be on the podcast because I never even thought that this could be an option, truly.
Yeah.
And of course, I've got the plans. I want to go see the certain things that I want to see, but to
Mhm.
have somebody like you who's like ready to put a whole thing together, what would you say to somebody who has never done something like this or they're maybe a little trepidatious?
So we can start from ground zero. If you Even if you don't have something that you're super obsessed with, like Lord of the Rings or like all the
Mm,
Potterheads with Harry Potter. If you just want something with a vibe, like, hey, I want to go to Germany and see a bunch of fairy tale castles, and that's like the vibe of the trip you want. We can also do
mm,
that. But if someone does have a fandom that they are really passionate about, then I love if they tell me what it is. That way I can curate the trip for them. And even if they
great.
might not even know where they want to go yet, and that's totally fine. Like if you just give me something, I'm like, all right, I'll create a trip around it. And then it can be as heavily themed as you want it to be. Like I love a theme. Like if I go on a Lord of the Rings themed adventure trip, I want to stop at really cutesy pubs along the way and maybe
Yeah,
castles.
of
Like
course.
give me the full experience, but not everyone will. So it's also catering them to people's own
Mm.
taste.
Yeah. So it can be a fandom, it can be just a feeling
Yeah.
that you're chasing.
Yep.
That is so
Mhm.
cool. Do you try to plan trips around a specific story or a destination first? Like if I came to you and just said, "Lord of the Rings, go."
Yeah.
What's your first thought?
I would first ask if you want to do the Shire experience in New
Mm,
Zealand, which
okay.
is Hobbiton, because that's pretty I feel like most people, that'll be what they
Sure.
want to do, go see, like, the actual Shire that was there.
Yeah.
And then there is a whole other it's called Weta Workshop, if I'm saying that
Mhm.
correctly, and
Yep.
they're the ones who kinda create all the other, like, games and things that come out around Lord of the Rings. So they're
Mhm.
really the ones pushing Lord of the Rings out there to all of us fans. So that would really be an amazing place to start. There are tours that will like I can either set you up with an actual tour that is running, or we could
Mhm.
just do a totally customized thing if you don't want to be with a group and we'll just kind of follow
Yeah.
the same path. But if you don't want to go all the way to New Zealand,
Mhm.
something that I'm playing around with currently is setting up my own custom tour through either the United Kingdom or like adding in Europe as well, and just following the
Yeah.
footsteps of Tolkien and all the
Yeah,
places
yeah, yeah.
that inspired him. Because, yes, he was inspired by a lot of places in England, but also he was inspired by Switzerland. That was the inspiration
Sure.
for
Yeah.
Portugal, and I actually went
Yeah.
there before I even knew. I went to Lauterbrunnen, which is the Valley of 72 Waterfalls. It is as
Beautiful,
beautiful as
gorgeous.
it sounds. I was there and I was like, "Okay, this is paradise."
Yeah,
And then
this
I
is it.
later learned that was the inspiration for Rivendell was Lauterbrunnen and Interlaken, and those were the thoughts I had while
Cool.
there. So
Yeah.
there's different directions, and it's just feeling out the client and what they would want to do.
I think it's really cool that you can take something and make it a little bit more accessible, I think, to
Mhm.
people because, like, not every you can't jet off to, like, New Zealand,
Yeah.
like, probably.
Well,
Most
bring
people
it to me
probably
for our
can't,
plane
but
trip. It'll be
yeah,
great. You'll love it. Like, let's go to New
yeah.
Zealand.
But to, like, bring to life these, like, nerdy adventures that, like, you can do a
Mhm.
little bit closer to home, what does this bring to you?
I love doing it. I love
Mm,
working with clients on their trips, and right now I have a bunch of trips that aren't even nerdy related. They're all going to Greece
yeah.
actually. And I just love working with people. I love helping people create their dream trips and sending them on it.
Mm,
So for me, that brings me joy. So ever since I started this business, like I've just been so much happier. I'm like, I'm never
mm.
going back to the man. I don't want it. I got my own thing
Hell
going.
yeah.
It's awesome. Um,
Hell yeah.
so that's what I've been feeling this, like, past year, so really diving into Nerdventures and getting it
Yeah.
going. Um, and for me, like, I just all these things just bring me joy personally, so it's like a mix of joy, but then also escapism from getting to go into these worlds and
Ooh.
running around
Yes.
the ancient lore village and pretending like I'm there in the Shire, like, that's just fun.
Yeah.
So, it's been great.
Who would be, like, your dream client?
Ooh. Oh, that's a great question. Biggest
Who would you just love to set up a thing for? Sorry, that wasn't on the list, but I really
Like a specific person, like a celebrity, or just in general, like, experience?
Ooh, in general, but,
Oh my
however.
gosh, okay. It's really just anyone who's open to having that type of experience or someone who wants just
Sure.
a more immersive type of vacation, and we can go from
Yeah.
there. I'm trying to think if there are any celebrities that would be fun to work. I feel like it would just be hilarious to be like, "Emilia Clarke, Game of Thrones, where do you wanna go? You've been everywhere. Where do you
Yeah,
wanna
yeah.
go?"
That would be so cool. That would be such an awesome, blurb for the
That
website,
would be.
being like, "This was" yeah.
Khaleesi approved.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, so how niche do you think that you could if somebody came to you and they said, "Hey, here's my, I don't know, fandom,"
Mhm.
how would do you prepare for something, say, that maybe you have not been, introduced to?
Just a lot of research, and at
Mm,
least this type of research is fun to me. So, it's just
yeah, yeah,
exploring something else that could be really interesting, and I have a pretty good grasp on most things that people look for,
yeah.
but it's just looking it up and, like, yeah, doing a basic Google search, but also going to, like, TikTok, Instagram, seeing what's out there, which
Mhm.
a lot of people do already to prepare for travel.
Sure.
That's a great thing to do, honestly, and just seeing what is out there, if anything.
Because I'm in the back of my head because I guess I feel like myself, I think all of my interests are niche and "Oh, nobody would know," but
Mm.
I don't think that that's true. The more especially the more that I get to talk to people and talk about, the things that they're into and the things that just exist out there in the
Mhm.
world, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I don't think Skyrim would be too hard to do."
Yeah.
But, let's see, or talk about at
Yeah.
least. So where have you visited that you think has felt the most, surreal or magical or
Mhm.
otherworldly?
I would say Lauterbrunnen, Switzerland, like I
Mm,
mentioned, for Lord of the Rings, and that was
mhm.
before I knew the connection as well. It
Yeah,
was
wow.
just the most picturesque place I've ever been in. I, like, thought it was fake. I was like, "This is not real." Like, it was early morning, I was on a hike to go see these underground waterfalls, and there was a stream, and the sun was shining into this valley, and, like, I have such a strong
This isn't
memory
real.
of it. Like, that was pretty surreal.
Do you think that there is a fandom world that translates particularly well into travel?
Hmm.
And maybe one that would be kind of hard to do. I think some of the sci-fi stuff that we
Mhm.
see, it's like you can't actually travel into space,
Well,
but I think
if
you
you're
can
a
get kind of close.
billionaire,
Okay.
well, hey, I'm not
Well,
saying I would do it personally, but
but we've seen it be done. Yeah.
technically. Sci-fi stuff is a totally different realm, I would say, because
Mm,
yes, we
mhm,
do have Jordan, the Wadi Rum Desert for Star Wars, The Martian, a bunch of other movies I
mm,
can't even get into. But then again, if someone wants to go see the NASA Space Center in Florida, they can do that. They
yeah.
could go see the like Hadron Collider that's in Geneva, Switzerland. So like that's also very particular inch. So
Yeah.
it is possible.
So you've got your two side. Yeah, I didn't see, like I said, I'm approaching this episode from a
Mhm,
very selfish place, from a very fantasy obsessed person.
mhm.
But yeah, you also have that aspect of
Yeah.
nerdy that is more on the
Mhm,
science side
mhm.
and wanting to go and see these. That's incredible. What is a hidden gem destination that you don't think a lot of people might think about, but they should?
Mhm. Hidden gem. Let's see.
Mm.
Malta, actually. And I'll need to pull a list of everything that has been filmed there. But Malta
Oh.
is a teeny tiny country. in the Mediterranean, kind of right next to Greece and Italy, if I'm correct.
Mm,
So small, it's 3 islands. And they are known for, like, the giant wall that is there. It's a giant walled city. The whole thing is a UNESCO World Heritage Site because it is so ancient, so old. So many
right.
cultures have collided on those islands, so there's so many different cultural impacts on it, like with the food and culture,
Mm.
everything, but so many things have been filmed there. Like 300 was filmed there. Parts of Game of Thrones might have been filmed there as well. Also, there was a live action Popeye movie back in the day starring Robin Williams
I forgot. Wow,
that I'd
you are
never heard
waking something
about,
up. Wow.
and it was filmed in Malta, and you can visit the village that they built for it. It is still there.
That's funny. So any crazy Popeye fans out there,
Go to Malta.
let's get some
Yeah.
emails and get this.
And
Yeah. Hell
then
yeah.
another very specific place that I also learned about on my Switzerland trip years ago. You're familiar with the movie Alien, I'm pretty sure.
Mhm.
I remember you're like a horror
Sure.
fan. So there
Yes.
is a
Yeah.
museum bar in this little medieval village of Gruyere, Switzerland, like the cheese. And it's a gorgeous medieval town. So beautiful, so picturesque. And then there is a bar there called the Museum Geiger Bar. I'll have to look up the actual name. Museum HR Geiger Bar is what I believe it's called. And you walk in, and it is completely themed for Alien because he was the guy who was in charge of designing
Fun.
all of the creatures
Fun.
in the entire world, the spaceships from Alien. That was his whole thing. Like he's known as an artist and designer for that whole aesthetic. I think it's called like
Mm.
biomechanical. And so the
Okay.
bar
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
walk
Yeah.
into it is like alien, biomechanical, everything. It is
Oh, that's
so freaking
so
cool,
cool.
and it's in a
Yeah.
little medieval village in Switzerland. Like
That's so
what is
cool.
that?
That is so cool. Um, yeah, it reminds me there's a bar in Nashville. It's on the east side of Nashville. It's called the Tiki something Tiki. I don't know. I'll add it in here in post. I'll put it on the
Perfect.
screen or something. But it was like very, very horror movie thing. They've got like, the horror movie stuff all over, but it was
Nice.
particularly geared towards gremlins.
Ooh,
And it like it was like they had a such a large collection of like old gremlins toys and like
no.
the posters and like all the drinks were kind of
So
themed
funny.
after that. It was really cool. I want to say this isn't correct, like the Tiki Tiki Hubba
Oh
Hubba
my
bar. I
god.
don't remember, but it was like also
I love that
like a
name.
there was also like a punk show going on in the background.
Good,
It was the coolest
good.
place
Love the
I have
chaos.
ever been. Uh, but I love a themed bar. Is my
Exactly.
point. Do you have any like? Do you think there's any like misconceptions that people might hold about like a nerdy travel service?
A lot of people have more misconceptions about travel agents in general. A lot of
Ah, okay.
people don't even know if they're still a thing, or they just
Uh huh.
think that they're gonna have to pay a ton of money to work with us. And that varies by trip and how intense it is. So if you come to me and
Sure.
just want
Sure.
a cruise or tour that's already set, I normally don't charge for that because that's done for me. I'm not gonna charge you for that.
Sure.
Um, but people think that it costs a bunch of money to work with us. They have like, surprise we're still here. But we're
Mm-hmm.
here to help people have great vacations. And
Yeah.
some people do have budget limits or minimums to work with them. I personally don't because I do want this travel to be accessible
Mm-hmm.
for everyone. I don't think you
Sure.
need to spend $1 million
Yeah.
to go to Hobbiton in New Zealand. Like, let's just, see what your budget is and make it work. So that's the
Mm-hmm.
main misconceptions. And then it's really, we can be as involved as people want us to be. So I can
Yeah.
be there every step of the way, book every single thing, give you a full blown itinerary with where you're going to eat each day. I can do that.
I love that.
Or if you just want to know, hey, where are these places? Book me a tour. Like I
Yeah.
can do that too. So it's really up to the
Yeah.
client and how they want to work together.
That's amazing. My parents went to Mexico on an anniversary trip and they heard I wish I had more information this, but one of their friends said like use someone like, that's what they do,
Mhm.
like, do this. They are, what's the word I'm looking for? Indispensable.
Ooh,
Or, maybe that's not the
indispensable
word I'm looking
maybe?
for. Yes. No, incredibly useful,
There we
how's
go,
that?
love that.
Um,
We're
and
here for the
it was like
clients, and
you
we're here to intervene on
right.
their behalf with suppliers,
Yeah.
with hotels, with tour
Mhm.
companies, anything that impacts your trip, like, we're there to handle things for you.
Yeah, yeah. Which kinda leads me into my next thing. If somebody is, let's say, completely they would describe themselves as totally broke, but they still want to have this experience,
Mhm,
what would your response to that be if somebody said, "Hey, I really want something that, like, wakes this part of me up, but
mhm,
I cannot fly out of the country,
mhm.
or I can't do this for a long time." Are there smaller
There
options?
are, and kind of like how Ancient
Mm,
Lore Village is in Tennessee. That's easy to get to,
that's
and it's full-blown
still
immersive
so cool.
experience. Now, it will depend,
Mhm.
how much money do they have to put towards an actual hotel. Um,
Sure.
but if they can't, there are some really themed Airbnbs and rentals that you could also get. So,
Yeah.
looking into those options, there's Alice in Wonderland ones that I've seen, there's a couple in Florida that I need to go check out and see myself. So there are, themed Airbnbs that you actually can find, just takes a bit more digging. So looking at other
Yeah.
things like that versus a full themed hotel or,
Mhm.
maybe they can't do a vacation, maybe it's more so seeing what events are going on. So either a convention
Okay.
or a fantasy ball, because that's a
Yeah. Oh, oh, sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, you
yeah.
you need to pay for
Okay,
tickets for that, so it's really I would just lay out all the
uh-huh.
costs and be like, "Is this doable for you? Is it not? Where can we tweak
Sure.
things?" And really just
Yeah,
going
yeah.
from there and trying to create a nice experience
Mhm.
for them.
What do you think that, and I won't even say people are getting wrong when they book their own, like, kind of thing. What would your advice be to, like, someone, like, speak directly to me here? Because I don't wanna just be like, "Tell everyone what they're doing wrong." But, like, what would you say that is, I guess, something that you can provide, for people who are doing this that they might not have access to,
Mhm.
or might, let's say, in my case, it might be a mistake to not come to someone like you. What do you think I can avoid by using your service?
We provide information and access to things. I say
Mhm,
that is our biggest
mhm,
value because people don't know that these things exist. So then they
mhm.
would come to a travel agent who specializes in a certain area. Maybe they're really they do a lot of river cruises. That's a whole other ball
Yeah.
game. And there's things you need to know about river cruising and the level of the rivers and when they rise and all the locks and stuff. So we have very specialized
Mm,
knowledge for different niches if it is a niche travel agent.
mhm.
And then we also have access directly to the hotels and the representatives. So a lot of the times if say some crazy thing happens that affects travel, you're trying to get in touch to help handle your hotel booking, you're going to get in late, blah, blah, blah. The travel agents don't really deal with the same things that you do because we either have a direct
Uh-huh.
content or contact for that hotel or tour operator. So we just reach out to them directly instead of waiting on customer service for hours and hours. If we
Yeah.
don't, then we wait in the customer service line on your behalf for hours,
Yeah.
hours. So it's having someone there to help you with the things, the little operational side of things for your
Mhm.
trips that not everyone wants to deal with.
Especially if you are on
Mhm,
vacation,
mhm.
or this is, like, especially you're like, "That's the last
Yeah,
thing
if
that I
something
wanna
goes
do
wrong,
at
like,
this
I
time."
work with a specific travel insurance company that I like to recommend, and they have a
Mhm,
24/7 emergency contact line. So,
mhm,
yes, the
mhm.
clients can always come to me for help, but they also have this actual insurance company that will help them with whatever is going on with where they are. So that's just
Sure.
a
Yeah,
nice
yeah, yeah.
security blanket for people when they're traveling as well.
Yes.
Mhm.
Invaluable. That's also what I was going for earlier. You also mentioned
Yep.
cruises, which blew my brain open because I typically kind of
Yeah, do you wanna I know nerdy cruises. The first one I'm thinking of is called D&D at Sea. Literally Literally
I'm leaving right now,
Dungeons&
I'm
and
going.
Dragons on a cruise ship. I know
Ah,
someone personally who has done it. He goes almost every year, huge D&D guy. And
mm,
then there's one other. I just learned about this one. It's called the Joko Cruise,
okay.
and it's like a week-long just nerd-themed cruise. So concerts,
Yeah,
comedy, gaming, author panels. I think I saw, like, a clip with some vendors on board with things, so I
fun.
have yet to do any of
Hell
things
yeah.
myself. I definitely need to, but yeah, there's also nerdy cruises out there. Or if you wanna do your own
That
cruise, get your own group of people together, you can do that too.
yeah. Ah, oh my gosh, sorry, the idea of a nerdy cruise really just blew everything apart. So away from sort of the business side of things, just this as your passion, do you think that this has helped you feel connected to other people? Is there like a community here to be a part
There
of?
definitely is, and for me, it's been really rewarding to be able to tap into it,
Cool.
especially actually with the fantasy ball space. I'm going to my first fantasy ball this summer. I'm so
Yeah.
excited,
Yay.
and it's hard to find other people who are
Mhm.
that into the space. Like, yeah, there's the girlies who
Yeah.
read the romantasy books that I can connect with, but not everyone,
Mhm.
like, wants to go full on ball and, like, get immersed in it. So I'm going to go to that and just, like, connect with people
Yeah.
online leading up to it. It's just so
Mhm.
nice and so exciting, and I went to the market portion of this one last year, and even just being there was just so much fun for me, and I was there alone, just, like, going through the market and talking to the vendors, and it was just so nice, like, I felt like at home. I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
these are my
Oh,
people,
yeah.
like, they're not going to think I'm super weird, like, if I just put on elf ears." So it was just really nice being in these spaces and actually being able to engage with these
Yeah.
people, and then telling people with these interests, "Hey, you can travel to these really cool places if you want to."
Getting to be in those spaces is unlike
Mhm.
anything personally I felt because you're exactly right. You don't yeah, I mean, even something like a Ren fair when
Mhm.
you go to it, and you might feel a little like, "Oh, this is super" you get there and you realize there's always gonna be somebody who's so much, like, more out there, I
Yep.
guess, with it than you are, and that immediately and I love that because that makes you feel so at
Yeah.
home,
Well, just have a
and,
lot of mead.
may
You'll be good.
yeah, 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 you'll be fine. When Macy and I got to go to the witches' ball
Mhm.
a couple years ago, that was I experienced kind of that feeling as
Yeah.
well as getting there and meeting other people who, like, maybe you reach out to your friend group and you're like, "Hey, there's this thing going
Mhm.
on," and they're like, yeah, that's cool," or whatever,
Yeah.
but then you meet somebody who's, like, into it, it's a
Yes,
whole different thing.
yes, totally different.
Oh my gosh, so what is something that you're still curious about or, like, what is, um it maybe an area that you have yet to go
Mhm.
to and expand your repertoire.
So, I do want to dive into some Witcher locations.
Mhm.
I wanna dive more into that, see what filming locations I can find, but also there is a Witcher tavern in Poland.
Whoa.
And I don't know if it's like,
Wow.
like, super on the nose Witcher themed or just, like, the vibe of a
Mm,
medieval tavern, but it's called Wolf Pit
yes.
Tavern in Poland, and that's on my list.
Sick, I'm gonna
So
write that down.
I need to go and do some digging into that because I feel like The Witcher, I believe it was a Polish author, that's why the tavern
Mm,
is there,
mhm,
but he did draw a lot so much from their folklore, so I do wanna
mhm.
dive more into that also because I love it, and then I'm a big vampire girly. I love Dracula. I wanna go to Romania so bad because it
Yes.
just looks beautiful, first off. I think it is
Oh,
a very
yeah.
overlooked location, current international, political happenings aside. Uh
Sure.
But Romania does
Yeah.
look beautiful. They have a, like, really strong wine culture, actually, so people can go look at the
Mhm.
wineries. But then you can also visit, the castle that was featured in the Dracula movies. I'm trying to think. So it's Bran Castle is the main one, and then let me look up. Is that also because Dracula was based off of Vlad the Impaler, so you can go to his
Mm,
actual castle as well.
That's
In
so cool.
addition to the ones that have been used in the movies. So Bran Castle is not the only one. There was another one that was featured either in Nosferatu, the newer version, or
Oh,
another
yeah, yeah,
movie.
yeah.
So there's a couple castles there that I do want to go and check out, and you can
Yeah.
also do Halloween at Bran Castle at a masquerade
Dude,
party.
brother, can you
Right?
imagine?
Like, are you kidding me?
God, that would be
Like,
so
yes, I wanna
cool.
do it.
So
Yeah,
dramatic. Yeah.
and
Is that an
that's an
option? Could
option.
could
That is
somebody just
that
be
is an
like, "Hey,
option.
plan me a Halloween trip.
Yes,
What do
and
you
I'm
got?" You
dying
know?
to do that for
Cool.
myself, but also to do for someone else.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Is there an element of, like, vicarious
Yes,
living a little bit through this?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, whenever I send my friends places, I tell them, like, "Please send me pictures. Please tell me what you thought."
Yes.
'Cause I
Yeah,
just love
yeah.
hearing about it.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's not scratching the exact same itch as going yourself, but,
Mhm.
like, I can understand, when getting to plan it and getting to find
Mhm.
these things and getting to, like, get all the info
Yeah.
about it. Alright, I have somewhat of a game, not really a
Woo!
game, but if let's see, if I approached
Mhm.
you and I handed you sneakily, not sneakily, I don't know why, an envelope with
Woohoo.
$2,000 in it, and I said, "Build me the nerdiest little trip possible with
Ooh.
this." What are we doing?
Ooh. Let's see. Let's see. I would send you to the United Kingdom
Okay, and
because
I would go.
that is one of the closest places, and this is, like, for an international trip, so that's one of the closest places you
Mm,
could get to flying-wise, so that'll be a cheaper plane
mhm,
ticket, and then I'll pinpoint what your interests are.
okay,
So if you did wanna do more fantasy inspired, we could do that, but, like, starting off in London, there's so many places there.
mhm.
There is a I believe you like D&D, correct?
Oh,
So, let
yeah.
me pull these guys up. So, there is a company called the Moonshine Adventure Company,
I'm already getting ready to write things down. Moonshine. Okay.
and they are based in the United Kingdom, and they do D&D
Mm.
holidays.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
for you, I would send you on that
Sold.
because you can do just a one-day, um, game, uh, or
Okay.
you could do a multi-day adventure with them, and they will
Yeah.
to a place in England, and I believe Scotland too. I believe they expanded there. And it'll be at, a little hotel in whatever, that's right next to a place where the game will be set, where the D&D campaign I'm sorry.
This
And then you'll play the game, and then you'll go explore the setting for the campaign, like the actual place where it's set.
I'm going to die right now. Sorry. I've been my friend recently asked me, she's like, "What do you want to do for your 40th
Ooh.
birthday in a couple of
Mhm.
years?" And now I have an
There you
idea.
go, there you go. And honestly, they were pretty
Wow.
affordable too from the prices that I saw, and they
Yeah.
can also do it super custom. So they already have ones that
Mm.
they already have set, but if you wanna do your own custom D&D campaign adventure in the United Kingdom, they can do that.
I listen, I'm so sorry. I hate to like a fangirl might be like I said, this is purely all my own intentions getting poured into this
Well, go
just
for it. It's
finding
your
out information.
podcast.
So all right, let's do some rapid fire. If I was to like spit out a fandom to you and you were like to give me the your first idea that comes to your head. So like Lord of the Rings,
New Zealand,
obviously.
yeah.
Okay, obviously. Okay, easy, easy, easy one. Easy one. Game of Thrones.
Croatia, actually, yeah, for King's
Croatia.
Landing. King's
Really?
Landing was filmed
Ooh.
Russia. But also Northern Ireland, you can go there for the complete Winterfell experience. Which yeah,
Shut
it was
up.
filmed
Okay.
there. They have I mean, it was filmed in an actual castle there. You can go, you can have a
Mhm.
feast, you can meet, the direwolves that are still alive. Um, I wanna say, like, archery, and there's, like, a tour of the costumes and everything. So that's in Northern Ireland as well.
Oh, wow. I had no idea. Okay. You know what? The funny thing is I wrote down my list of places, but we've touched on most of them. So let's branch out. I heard you say something earlier, and that I am not like super well versed in, but I would like to know people who are like anime
Mhm.
fans. What do we got? What do we got in that
Yeah,
realm?
so we have your basic conventions, of course, building trips
Mhm.
around that.
Mhm.
And that could be, hotel experiences, making sure you're staying at a good place for your convention, planning the
Mhm.
details of that for people. But that's pretty
Mhm.
straightforward. So, going to Japan, that's pretty much any anime fan's goal, I feel like, in life is to make
For
it to
sure.
Japan and to
Yeah,
just
for sure.
bounce around Tokyo and go to all the places.
Mhm.
So, there is a Pokemon theme park. There's a Studio Ghibli theme
Mhm.
park. There is what is it? The Nintendo building is there. I forget what the specific experiences is you can do with that. And then there's
Mhm.
all the little neighborhoods as well. So there's for people into Harajuku, there's the Harajuku part of Tokyo. And then there's a specific neighborhood, which is we're going to go for all of the action figures and like all the paraphernalia that you want
Yes.
to see
Yeah, yeah,
all
yeah.
there. So there's so much to do there. And then just, visiting the rest of Japan and seeing
Mhm.
Kyoto, Osaka, really diving into the culture as well, which is a whole other portion of it. But
For sure.
any anime
Yeah.
fans, like, Japan is kind of that's where we're going.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, science. I'm a big science nerd.
Ooh. Oh, man.
I love me some science, and of course I can't get more specific than
Yeah.
that because
Let's see. So if you're a space nerd, obviously seeing the,
Okay.
NASA center in Florida. That's kind of like a
Yeah.
one-day thing, so a lot of people will tie that into a trip to Orlando because it's very easy driving distance, so building a trip around
Mhm,
that.
mhm.
And then, I mean, we have the Smithsonian's in DC, Air and Space. That's where a lot of people are going to send you right off the bat.
For sure.
And then if you do wanna go see the Hadron Collider in Geneva, Switzerland, that's an option. I did not do
Yeah.
it when I went,
Wow.
but I remembered it from people in
Yeah, yeah,
theory, and
yeah.
I was like, "Oh, this is where I learned
Yeah,
about it."
this is here. Yeah. I am listen to me, and I know this is not how it works, but I would be too scared.
Yeah.
I would just be like, "It's gonna
Yep,
vaporize me, I
yep.
know it." Uh, I know that there's, like, a science person out there who's just like, "You stupid. You're so stupid." Um, so how much of this is I hate to say an excuse, but how much of this is an excuse to, like, live in your hyperfixation full
Oh,
time?
it's 100% the reason why.
Good, good,
Yeah.
as it should be,
I get
yeah.
tired of having a mundane life, and I was like, "I'm doing something fun and cool, dang it."
And I love that so much, and, uh, this is one of the more unique things that I have ever heard that
Mhm.
somebody has
Yep.
done with their free will and just decided to be like, "I'm gonna make this a thing,"
Yep.
and I think it's so fucking
Thank
cool,
you.
and thank you. Thank you for doing it because this is really cool, and I think that this opens up so much, I think there are a lot of people out there who want this, but don't necessarily know how
Mhm,
to go about doing it, or
mhm.
o get completely
Yeah.
overwhelmed by, Googling, "If I really like Baldur's Gate, where could I go?" And
Mhm.
then you're assaulted with a million different answers, and you're like, "I quit, I'm
Yeah.
done." But
Mhm.
having somebody who can help you figure this out is so game
Yeah.
changing. And, where can if you guys are out there and if you're interested in this, and you should be, where can we find you, follow you, uh, plan a trip with you, all of these things?
Alright, so I will start off with my email. It is
Mhm,
ashley@nerdventurestravel.com, and
mhm,
that's Ashley with a Y at the end, the basic way. My website is nerdventurestravel.com, and my TikTok is at nerdventurestravel, and my Instagram is nerdventures_travel. And then
mhm.
you can just find me on Facebook at Nerdventures.
Absolutely, and I love the name
Thank
Nerdventures. I
you,
think
thank
it's
you.
cute. Rolls off the tongue, tells you exactly what
Yep,
it
yep,
is. Um, that's that background in marketing
yep.
coming in. Yeah. All right, so thank you so much for coming on the show. Is there anything that I didn't touch on that you want people to know or anything that you wanna
Mhm.
say, um, about what you do or just to let us know?
I will say one last thing that we didn't dive too much into would be video game travel. And
Oh gosh.
this specifically is for the Assassin's Creed, gamers out there because
You just excited so many
yeah.
people. Like
And not that there is specific places to go that I found yet. There is. I've
Yeah.
heard rumors of a guy doing tours in Italy based off of Assassin's Creed. I believe in Florence. I need to find him and contact him
Mm,
and get something going.
mhm.
But a great way to prep for a trip that I found was actually playing the games. And I will tell you this, this is the very deep nerd in me showing. Is
Yes,
first
please.
time I was going to Greece like 2, 3 years ago, I just so happened to be playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey. That was the first Assassin's
Mm,
Creed game I ever played, actually. So I was playing that and I was, obviously thinking of the trip coming up, and I'm like, oh, this is so cool. All the history is being brought to life. I'm a big mythology fan, ancient Greece. I love it. And so seeing all the temples there fully brought to life was
yeah.
amazing. But then I was looking at the map that they give you in the game. And I was lining it up to the actual map of Greece and the islands. I was like, "Hang
Yes,
on,
yes, yes.
hang on a sec."
Wait.
And so so if you just wanna get really excited about travel or something
Yeah,
or just dive into a place, like, just look at the map and, like, find out what's there because
for
like, I
sure.
was going to the island of Crete, which is one of the biggest islands. It is the biggest island in Greece, and that is where the ancient Minoan palace was, which is known for the Minotaur and the labyrinth. You go to
Mhm.
that in the game, it's
Mhm.
totally different. It's based off of the legend and the lore, so it's super intense. But you can also visit the actual real ruins in person. So I
That's so
geeked out
cool.
over it that way, and I just want more Assassin's Creed gamers to know, and they might know it already, but I just thought it was really cool and fun to get excited about my
No,
trip.
that's really cool. I'm tearing up. I get when I get, like, really excited about people's I get,
Yeah.
like, my eyes start watering, and I'm like, "Ah, that's so
Yeah, so
fun."
use that to geek out ahead of a trip if you have some downtime.
100%. Okay, this is really stupid and not exactly the same thing, but I was planning my first trip to Vegas years and
Oh.
years and years ago, and I played, Fallout New
Oh, yeah.
Vegas in the lead up to it
Nice.
for, like, 4 months, and I
Yes.
was just like when I got there, I was insufferable. I was just like, "Did you know that this hotel is based off of this
Oh,
real one
that's
right here?
it.
And here it is."
You
Like,
did it.
it's
You did
like
the
I
thing.
loved it.
That
Yes.
was your nerd adventure.
I loved it. I listen, I could not recommend it more. That was one
Yes.
of my favorite
Yes.
things about anywhere that I've been.
Yeah.
It's just this thing that you're seeing that, like, you're there for something that I hate to say nobody else is there
Mhm.
for, but, like, everybody's in Vegas to do Vegas things, and it's like, I'm in Vegas because I wanna see the cowboy that
Yes.
inspired the cowboy in the game, like
Absolutely, yes. Well, and now they have the
and
John
it's
Wick
yeah.
experience over there as well. Yeah, I
What?
haven't done it. I wanted to do it when I was there. There's a whole John Wick experience, and you, like
What do you
I
do?
I'm not
Do
sure
you get to
exactly what
get
happens, but
guns?
it's all
Like
role play. You walk into this building, and they, like, treat you like you're John Wick, and they hand you a cocktail, and then crazy shit happens, I think. I don't know exactly, but it is the John Wick experience in Vegas.
Okay, so yeah, we have all of your information. We have it listed down below. Please, guys, reach out and what's the protocol for somebody who is interested, but maybe they are not yet committed? Is it okay to reach out to you and just say, "Hey, I'm thinking about this," and
Absolutely, reach out.
um,
Any
yeah,
channel. Website is best, nerdventurestravel.com. I have a couple forms that if you do know exactly what you want, you can go fill in, give me the details. Great. There's some also tours that are already
mm,
created by people that I can set you up with. You can go see what's there. Or you can just do, basic contact email. Also works as well.
yeah. Cool, cool, cool. I am already like putting a group of my
Yeah.
friends together in my head and being like, "What?" So you're gonna hear from
Yes,
us
absolutely. Go.
probably very soon. Again, thank you so much for coming on the show. This was so much fun. I've teared up. I've laughed. I've
Yes.
cried.
Thank you for
Um,
having me. This has been amazing.
of
So much
course.
fun.
Yeah. Everybody's got a thing, and I want to hear about yours. If you're deep into it and ready to share, slide into my inbox about your thing. Whole everythingpodcast@gmail.com.